feel like most people are using AI wrong, including the people who built the AI. There is this famous quote from over a decade ago that we used computers on par with calculators to launch people to the moon, and now we're using such powerful devices to launch birds at pigs. What I'm getting at is that AI, for most people using it, is actually wasted potential. People are mass producing slop, also in design, instead of using AI for things that can elevate the experience. So I'm gonna tell you about a couple of paths or directions that you could try to explore. Let's start with text, because this is something that most designers don't even try to understand. Just generating stuff like seamlessly empowering progressive transformations with AI, it's the kind of babble bullshit that the internet is already full of and people are completely sick and tired of. Most designers use that as a shortcut to write bullshit copy, to create things that don't make absolutely any sense, just kind of have this first glance look kind of nice vibe, but nothing more. These things won't work as a website or as an app. They're artwork, and right now, at least in like the past dribble times, that required some effort. Now it's like a couple prompts and it takes you 2 minutes to generate that. So here's what to do instead. Don't generate the copy for your website. Write the copy yourself and then put that copy you wrote into an AI and ask it for potential angles of how it solves a problem of your user group. And then for potential path forward that can be more beneficial to the users. So how to rephrase these things, how to potentially use different power words or emotional triggers. Or if you don't know what emotional triggers are, you can ask AI to explain it to you. See, you can still learn things and be able to use these tools better instead of just using them to speed things up. Obviously, spotting slop is a pretty important skill right now. So you should know that some of the visual patterns and some color choices and some typography choices are slop now. And they have been slop slightly before AI even. So AI only kind of powered it up, boosted it, but these things are a dead giveaway that you didn't put any effort. And trust me, your clients will start to notice that. Other designers, if they're good designers, will start to notice that. I mute people like that on social media who upload stuff that's visibly low effort, even if it looks good. Because the obsession with looks is another thing. You don't always need a website to look good, and that's a very important distinction because we have this idea that you need to sell a beautiful visual, but you know what actually sells on the website? The copy. If you have a really good product and very good copy, you can have a white background, a headline, a short description, and a button, and it's gonna work way better than a mid-journey generated anime background or some blobby light leak. This is why I tell people to always start with type frames. Yes, I talk about them in the Square Block Blueprint, but I also talk about them on this channel a bit. You can do your research and learn a little. Unless your main goal is to just get some likes on social media for what you call design, but it's not really design, it's artwork disguising as a product, as a functionality, as something that's supposed to primarily work, not just look. But of course, you can generate visuals. You can make very good visuals, including with AI. But the thing is that so far, from our experiences of working with clients of all sizes up to huge corporations, you cannot really use a single prompt to make any usable image for a website, for a client. Just impossible, no matter what you write. What you should do is always try to get from the client anything that is a real photo or visual from what they have. So some kind of branding, people that work at the company, people doing the job that the company does. And then you can use AI to tweak it, to maybe swap the background a little bit, to maybe up the colors, but not to just generate some random image image that doesn't make any sense.
And right now you can support the channel by buying rectangles or squares on that display that stands behind me in all the shots of my videos. You can go to the link in the description and buy yourself some real estate to be seen in my videos in September. Great way to support the channel and get seen.
Before AI, we used to do crazy recoloring. So if somebody had brown eyes and a beige jacket and the main CTA was blue, we recolored the eyes to blue and then we changed the hue of that beige to be a cooler tone to match that blue. Right now, you can do transformations like that and swaps like that with AI, and this is something that is completely overlooked because people just want to generate something. No, take a photo that you already have and then tweak it with AI, make it better with AI. And what's most important, the visual has to come second. You can't start with generate me an anime background of a character looking into the distance like many of these crazy stupid AI sites do, and then add some random copy on it and say, did I cook? First, write the problem and the solution of what your business is supposed to be doing, or the client's business. Then explain how it does it in the description, and then add a low friction CTA. And once you have these things in black and white, you can start adding colors, you can start adding gradients, shadows, and the visual, but that visual has to come from the text. It has to match and amplify the text. Otherwise, it has no reason for being there. So basically what I'm saying, you should put more focus into learning these things. You should put more focus into exploring what you can use AI for. Another thing that I'm using AI for right now is flow diagrams. These flow diagrams are created as nodes on a canvas that I can move around, add different ones manually, edit them. But the thing is that AI gets a user story from me written completely by hand because I know what the user is supposed to be doing in a product, not any AI. AI can give you an average, but it's not gonna get you that actual product with those actual users. So you write that yourself, you let AI generate the main skeleton of the flow diagram, ask it for all edge cases, and that's already way more that we were able to do in most budgets and timeframes. So that is amazing for clients. Now that is huge value that you can deliver as a designer, and then you manually edit every single part. You go into every node and write out what's on that screen, how it's supposed to work, how it connects to everything else, how it connects to the business logic and the business goals. And most importantly, how it gets the user from a problem to a solution, because that's the whole reason you're here. And once you get to that part, you can easily convert it into a type frame prototype, and then from there, you can start amplifying the message with the actual visuals. Because data processing and figuring out edge cases and figuring out different concepts or potential questions that your client might have or their end client might have is something that AI is kind of really good at. And I think that the creative parts of generative AI, so like making an image or writing some text, is actually just superficially quality. So people who have no idea about what quality is can assume that this is a nice image, a nice header image, nice hero section, nice text, but it's not. It doesn't make any sense, it's superficial, and most often is actually visible that it's AI generated. And that already puts you in a spot where most clients and most people in general will outright say they don't want anything to do with you. Because if your approach to generating stuff with AI is fully visible, then yeah, that kind of breaks immersion and nobody wants that product from you. So keep the core human and then build around it with little parts using AI where that AI can actually benefit you. But to do that, you need to understand all of these little parts. And sure, you can do it from my books, but I don't need to sell you anything today. You can also just ask AI for a lot of these things. There are some things that are only in my books, but there's enough stuff that you can still spend months asking AI how to understand color theory, typography, grid, layout. You can learn first and do later. Don't rush things. Don't do things as quickly as possible, and just focus on quality, please. Otherwise, your design would be akin to shooting birds at pigs.